One of the things that's really hard about teaching this week of study is there are so many names to keep track of. Not just names, but like you need the context behind the name. You need to know how Ziba Peterson even found the church to understand why he gets the call that he gets and how does it shake out for Ziba and all those things. It's really hard as a teacher to keep all of that straight. If it's hard for you to teach it, then imagine what it's like to try and absorb it in 30 minutes or an hour. It's a lot for kids to manage. So my hope is with this object lesson, I'm going to give you some teaching tools so this is easier for you. And also give your kids some understanding of what tools are in their hands right now. The church app, like the Gospel Library app, has loads of tools to help you understand the context of these revelations and each and every person that's mentioned. And I'm hoping to help your kids see that's in their hands and that they can then teach you and the rest of their class. But the way to do that is to play a game. So for this game, you're going to lay out a whole bunch of missionary name tags. So I've basically taken every name that's mentioned in this week as being called to serve in some way, and I made them a little tag. Since several of them have similar last names or the same last name, I've also added the first initial. So this is Elder P. Pratt. So that's going to be on the front of his name tag. On the back of his name tag, there are some questions about his missionary experience. Like, what do you know about their life before their mission? How did this person find the church? Those kind of questions are listed on the back. Then there's also a QR code so that your kids, if they're teenagers, can scan this on their phones and it will take them directly to Parley Pratt's page on the Gospel Library app, where you can see his picture, you can learn more about his bio, and you can understand who he is. The reason that's important is because this is the game. Your kids are going to teach you about these missionaries themselves by playing. You're going to spread out these name tags, all 12 of them on the table, and then you're going to set out some targets. Targets are on the printable as well. They're just tiny. They look like this. And this is kind of a quarter flipping game. Could be pennies, nickels, it doesn't really matter. Give each of your kids a coin of some kind and then have them step back from the table a little bit. We did find it was a little too easy if I let my boys kind of crouch over the coffee table to try and flip their coins. So I made them, their hands had to be back behind the table's edge most of the time. But all they're going to do is they're going to flip their coins. So I would have everybody in the class flip at one time. What's fun about that is the coins tend to roll around a little bit and they ram into each other and then they kind of knock each other off the target. What they're hoping to get is on a target. If they get a target, then they get an automatic prize of some kind. If you don't have treats on hand or that's not a good fit for your class, you could also do things like, let them out of class 5 minutes earlier. If you're at home, you could give them, 5 minutes on their curfew on Saturday night. Whatever it is, come up with some incentive. For us, we use gummy bears. That seemed to work great for us. I just set those around the perimeter of the game, and the goal was to get as many gummy bears as you could by the end of the game. So you're aiming for these. If your quarter happens to land on one of these targets, you automatically get one of those gummy bear packs and you get to just relax and let other people teach you. Because the other people's quarters, if they land in the dead space, not on a tag and not on a target, they do nothing. If they land on a tag, like on Oliver Cowdery's tag, their job is to pick up this tag, scan the QR code, and learn more about Oliver Cowdery. If you're teaching in a primary class and that's not an option for you, your kids don't have phones, you could either let them use your phone to scan it, or you could just have a few ideas kind of stashed away that they could teach about Oliver Cowdery. You could write some of those down ahead of time so that you have a few things to teach them on each one. But my hope is that your kids learn it. I also give you, if the QR code isn't an option for you, I give you the map to how to get to this part of the Gospel Library right under the QR code so that your kids could search it on different devices that you happen to have at church or at your house. But they're supposed to teach you something. So if they can pick any one of these 5 questions and they have to teach us something about this missionary that they learned by reading that page. Once the people who landed on the name tags have taught us something about that particular missionary, those name tags go back onto the table and you flip again. Again, you're trying to get as many gummy bears as possible, but along the way, you're learning about each and every one of these missionaries. They'll learn little things, they'll teach you little things, and hopefully in the process of hearing these names and becoming familiar with the various missions and the roles of these men in the church, this will feel less daunting to them. It'll be more fun for you to teach, and it'll feel less intimidating for them to learn because they've done it in a way that's, palatable. Yeah, gummy bears to any object lesson, and it's a win for me. So this helped my boys a lot. Hopefully it helps yours too. If you're teaching a younger class and scanning and learning, it's going to take too much time. Another thing you might do is just take these name tags and play a simple game of memory. Right? You print 2 sets of the printable and then set those out and let kids try and make matches. And as they find a match, you as the adult scan the QR code and show them a picture or teach them something about that particular missionary. I did want to give you something that they could take home with them if you're teaching in a primary class or a Sunday school class. So on the last page of the printable, there's a whole bunch of these adorable little name tags that your kids could wear out the door. So if you print them on sticker paper, they could stick them right to their shirt, or maybe give them a little magnet, just like they do with real missionaries, but give them a way to wear this home so that hopefully they can tell their families about what they learned in class. So there's all these missionaries who began this effort of taking the gospel to the world, and someday they'll be among those missionaries heading into the wilderness. And hopefully these little name tags will remind their family what that's all about.